Hello all traders and welcome to another edition of Stock Watch. So we're getting some news at the back end of last week that's affecting the Monday's opening, and that's the news that China will put Shanghai into a two-stage lockdown due to increasing infections in some regions and obviously in Shanghai itself. So because of this, we've seen oil slump by $5 from the morning, roughly hitting 113 and now trading just around the $109 handle. And a lot of global economies are wondering if it's really necessary, but China are pushing for this zero COVID rate that it has been pushing for the last year or so. So any spike in infections would naturally cause China to start imposing lockdowns again. We have to wonder if this is going to affect one of the world's biggest importers of oil. And it's looking like, you know, on one hand, we've got the Ukraine-Russia crisis going on, and on the other hand, now we've got this Chinese lockdown, which has affected prices even further. But the market could swing into a bullish favour when OPEC meet on Thursday to discuss output productions for the rest of the year to try and counteract a lot of sanctions going towards Russia as well. So we'll see if this really starts shaking up the oil markets as well after breaking the 110 barrier. You have to think that it was moving up to 115, 120 at least, but now it's actually weighed down due to this news. We couldn't really speak of oil without speaking of gold. We've seen in the last few days, it's been trending around the 1910 handle, hovering above that. That was last week's low. So we're pushing now a little bit higher, but we've got the non-farm payroll. Is a bit exciting news coming up. Non-farm payroll is coming up on Friday, which could actually check gold even further to the downside. So we'll see if there's a big swing higher for these exceeding expectations for the job numbers, or if there's going to be a move lower. So let's just take a look on the prices at the moment. And we're looking at the moment at oil, as I said, this $5 slump from the morning. This is the daily chart. If we just zoom in a little bit more, it doesn't look too precarious on the daily chart. It has to be said, because we had this rise to the upside, hitting the 114, 115 handle. Like I said, lows from last week hit roughly about 110. Sorry, not 110, going below $100. But in the near term, we're looking for another push to the upside. But if we look on the 4-hour chart, things are a little bit different, because with the assistance of the Ichimoku indicator, we're seeing now prices trading to the downside. Will we get another lift to the upside, a bounce roughly about this top border of the Ichimoku cloud, roughly about the 105, 106 area? We don't want to slump any further to the $100 handle, because this is when bears can start pouncing, more sell-offs can be ensued, and we can see prices start moving even lower. So let's just see what happens in the next few trading days. As I said, with these new lockdowns imposed on China, with the sanctions being put in place due to President Biden's speech on the weekend, where he was very passionate about the Russian President Vladimir Putin and his military exercises in Ukraine. We'll see what comes of that in the week as well. And also, like I said, we can't look on oil without looking on gold. These have been going hand in hand recently. Let's just put it back to the daily chart. As I said before, last week's lows roughly traded about the 1910 handle that we peaked downwards. Looks like a bit of a false spike there to the downside. However, now we are looking more monumentously to another push to 1950, but these prices have been weighed down recently due to these lockdowns, and there has been a few sell-offs in a few other markets. The US index, for example, did push higher. If you want to check that out as well, that's a good stock to keep an eye on, and I'll be reporting that on the video in the next in this week, along with some indices. But if we just take a look on the 4-hour chart as well, as you can see, things are a little bit different when we look on intraday charts. The candlesticks are trading and engulfed in the Ichimoku cloud, which gives me a reason to put that prices will keep pushing lower. If they break the 1910 handle, then I'll be obviously looking at the 1900 handle to see if we can find any support in that region. But it could be testing times for gold and oil in the next few trading days as we get more and more information. And don't forget, the Ukraine-Russia crisis is top of the agenda as well. So with oil, don't don't keep your eyes off it, because as I said, OPEC are meeting on Thursday. This could shake up the stock even further, and we'll see what happens at the end of the trading week with the non-farm payrolls. But I'll be reporting on my stock watch videos until then, and to see what the best opportunities are for you as traders. So that's all from today's video. Join me again for tomorrow for all the latest in headlines, fundamentals, and the best stocks and commodities to look out for. Until then, bye for now.